go.
Greetings all, Shane Bruce, Resto My Daisy, and hey, we've got an unusual combination of videos. This is a welcoming video as well as a hail and farewell. I could swear that I'd shot a video on this little 102 when it showed up, but can't find it. So we're just going to do it all in one. This is all after the fact, however. What you're looking at is a Daisy 102, normally referred to as the Cub. Let's take a look at the roll stamp on it. It's fairly legible. And then we have Daisy.
Model 36 Rogers, Arkansas.
With the old style. Now let's take another quick look at that roll stamp. Here we have on this side the old style roll print with Daisy. And then you roll down here and you see this is a more modern style. Now this is a, let's see here. I can't read it.
What are you looking for?
The roll stamp that tells you where it was made. Rogers, Arkansas.
Yeah,
all right, so this is a Rogers gun. So I think it's kind of interesting that it's got two different types of roll stamp on it with two different types of lettering on the logo. Some kind of transitional model maybe. Anyway, this is the Cub, which is the miniature Red Ryder. Shorter barrel length. Came with a factory stock about, well actually this is the factory stock. You'll notice it's about 1.5 inches shorter than the stock that's currently on it. And also, these guns came without, we'll roll up this way, did not have a forearm or a barrel band. They were all naked on the front end, and that's just the way the guns were built. The customer that sent this to me, this is an heirloom piece, a gun he's had for decades, and he noticed that it wasn't shooting quite as well as it had in the past, so he wanted it updated. And he also requested a slightly longer buttstock and also wanted a forend. Well, we ended up swapping out the original equipment, which was an old school folded metal air tube, and you'll note that the aperture here on the abutment seal is a bit worn, so it's losing some air there. Mainspring was not in bad shape, but a little bit sacked and certainly not as stout as it needed to be to get to the speeds the guy wanted to run at. These are original hardware fittings and some aftermarket brass nuts. Those will go back to the gun, with the gun and the buttstock to the customer. Well, we did our usual process. Did a receiving video. It was tracking about 250 feet a second with the original equipment, so we started swapping stuff out. It's currently equipped with a Cobalt 357 mainspring, a 327 mainspring, a 764 overbore air tube, and a new seal set. That was enough to get the gun from around 252 to a max recorded speed of 343. So the little guy's a thumper now. The gentleman in question wants to use it to wander about his property, shooting at tin cans and the occasional field mouse. At its current velocity setting, if he can sneak up close enough to him, he should be able to dispatch a field mouse without too many problems. Now, one addition I think that's worthy of talking about is the substitution of a longer buttstock. You notice they both have a wood grain pattern to them, although they are different. But the additional length of pull will make this a little bit easier for an older guy or a bigger guy to actually take it out and have some fun with it. The other major addition to the gun was location of a non-hot doggy front end of roughly the same color but without the wood grain. I'm yet to encounter one of these that actually has wood grain on it. However, we went for color match over surface texture, and it seems to work pretty well. It's got the old 3-star lever. You'll notice that the hardware currently in the gun is new hardware except for the stock bolt. We're sending the old hardware back. If he wants to sub in, that's fine, but whenever you're messing with daisies and swapping components, the Phillips head screws are much easier to deal with than the standard slots. You don't run the risk of running out of your groove and scraping the paint. In terms of overall finish on the gun, it's in pretty good condition. I'd say 95%. Got a couple of scratches here, a couple of dents there. Bottle cap works well. Let's take a look at the other side. You'll notice that this was a Daisy that was equipped with the holes for the Model 303 scope, if you were a fortunate enough young man to own one. A couple of blims and mars here and there on the gun, but overall, not too shabby. I think it'll be adequate for what he's looking to do and will serve him well over time, as most Daisies do. So, there's the tale of the Model 102, or number 102 Model 36 Cub transition from a 250-pound skinny gun to a 343-pound almost super thumper. pretty nice package. And that's all we've got for you today, kids. This is Shane Bruce, Resto Ma Daisy, signing off.